Hey everyone, my name is Dakota, Mann. I'm the production manager here at Hendersonville Theater, and I want to welcome Guillermo, our director for Appropriate, to this little sit-down interview that we've had.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. So Guillermo, to start off, just tell audiences, who are you?
Well, my name is Guillermo Jemmott Jr. I am the director of Appropriate or Appropriate, depending on how you would like to pronounce it. I think Brandon did that on purpose. We're on first name basis, obviously. And yeah, this is my second time directing at Hendersonville Theater.
Yes. Can you elaborate a little bit more about the appropriate to appropriate?
Yeah, I think that is very intentional. Appropriate is, a term that we all mostly know in terms of, yeah, things are appropriate to do or to say. Appropriate in the other way is to take something and claim it as your own. And I think both are appropriate, pun intended, in terms of this show, just because of the events that do happen.
Yes, and elaborate a little bit more now on the synopsis of the piece.
Yeah, so I mean, this show, it's hard. I feel like it's hard to talk about the synopsis of the show without giving too much away. But essentially, the show is about a family that comes together after the death of the father of the family, the patriarch of the family, and they find a lot of things that they are cleaning as they are cleaning out his home. Some things that are, oh, this is just an older man collecting things, and some that are not so great in terms of race issues and things like that. So it deals with the family dealing with all of that information and trying to, what is appropriate, for lack of a better word, to hold on to, and what do we need to acknowledge, and what do we need to say, you know what, this happened in the past. We're going to deal with it this way, or we're going to bury it and not talk about it ever.
And how did that further your vision for the show?
I think it was as an Afro Latino man that grew up in this country, there's a lot of race issues that I was obviously had to deal with growing up in the South. But I think for this show, it's uniquely built in a way that it's called for an all white cast, but asked for a person of color to direct the show. I think because there's so much to balance in this show. That it needs those two perspectives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when I was looking at it and reading it, and I was on a flight doing taking a bunch of notes and trying to come up with the best way to present this, I wanted the words to tell the story as much as possible. I wanted it to be as simple blocking as possible, which my cast might say that's not true at all. But I wanted the words to tell the story because the words are important. And when we think about these people that will be seen on this stage, these are very real people. They're not caricatures in any way. These are very real people that all of us have in our lives.
Yes, absolutely. For the reason that the Hendersonville Theater chose to even do the show is because when we read it, we felt the humanity within these characters, and this is a story that must be told right now.
Right.
Talking about stories that must be told, the previous time you worked here at Hendersonville Theater, you directed, what was it again?
Sordid Lives.
Sordid Lives by Del Shores.
Yes.
How do you feel the fact that coming from last time doing a very zany Southern comedy to now this grounded, even honestly traumatic Southern history?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the balances between those? And how does it feel working on such Southern heavy shows?
Great question. I mean, I love the creation process in general. So anytime I do get to create, it's amazing. But I don't think of Sordid Lives as a Southern show necessarily. Like obviously they're in Texas for that show, so it's the South. But I grew up in Memphis, and I'm like Memphis South and Texas South are two different types of things. So I don't think of Texas as the South in general. I think of it as a different part of the country with its own little thing. And then the South is everything else that's east of that, right?
Fair.
And so, the differences in that way are, they're different places. For the Del Shores one, like it's just zany fun. Like there's almost not too far you can go in that one to go off the cliff and just make it just kind of tumble and be funny. Because that one is just all the things that happen in that one are just hilarious for no reason. This one is in a lot of ways much more closer to home. Not because I've dealt with similar things, but because I really have grown up with these people. You know, going to school and coming of age in the Memphis area. There's obviously a lot of history that is connected to this one that we're telling in the story. Um, Again, grew up in Memphis. Arkansas is right across that border, right across the river. So I there's a lot of that history that is spilt over into Memphis. So I had to learn, some things about the city and about the culture and the histories that were there. Um, so telling these stories about in the South and about the South is something that I enjoy doing because I lived it.
Let's talk a little bit about your cast.
Yeah.
Who's in the show that people might have seen, might not around town?
I think obviously for the Hendersonville crowd, Josh Luria, who is in this show and was in Sordid Lives when I directed here last time. Obviously, I think people here know him. Tasha Pepe, who is playing the star of the show and the oldest sister, is also, I mean, doing a great job. And then Ali, I can't think of Ali's last name off the top of my head, but works at
Mariette, if I
thank
believe.
you.
Yes.
I've been calling them their stage names the entire time, so like I know their real names, and I'm like, now I'm last name. What?
It always happens every time.
But
Actors, they go by any name.
yeah, they're like as long as they know you're talking to them, it's okay. As an actor, I can vouch for that. But she is obviously works at Asheville Theater and is doing good work there. I mean, obviously, there's some new faces on this stage as well. River, who is going to be playing Cassidy, is from Greenville, so going to be new to this stage. And then, obviously, our youngest member, Clay, who is having a blast.
A rambunctious 9-year-old.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, but obviously having a blast. I mean, I can go on and on. Everybody is doing a great job in the show. When I cast the show, part of the things that I was looking for was just the intention with which they approached the audition. And they brought all of that to what they're doing on stage. So the family trio of Bo, Tony, and Franz, is obviously what the show is about. It's their family, and then obviously their other family members. But the three of them bring so much to the show in a way that obviously we couldn't tell the story without them. And I mean, I could go on and on about the entire cast. It's such a good cast of people, and really just great people to work with overall. Like everybody showed up. I was telling somebody today, like everybody showed up ready and willing to work and do the crazy things that I asked of them in the rehearsal process. And they were all like, yeah, okay, let's try it. And, there was no...
Not just being crazy, but the fact that they were able to be as vulnerable too.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Because you had to be honest in everything.
And that's one of the things I was telling them last night after we did the run. I was like, keep the intention. Like y'all are doing it so well. Just make sure to keep that intention going through the entire thing. Because, when we're... Yeah, the vulnerability is a great word that you brought up, because when we're on stage, we don't have any, there's no airbags, there's no, there's not anything to catch us, right? We're just there. There's no parachute. So it's a very, very hard and vulnerable thing to do, to tell these stories written by other people and about people that you might know, and that people that are going to connect with the audience, right? So again, all of these people, all of these characters are doing a wonderful job telling this story, and I can't wait to see how people are going to react to it. It's going to be life-changing in some ways for a lot of people.
And of course, talking about how people will react to it, without spoiling anything, do you happen to might be able to explain what maybe your favorite part of the show is?
That is a very difficult question, because there's so many good parts of this show. There's going to be some parts, obviously it's a drama, so there's going to be parts that make you feel and make you think, maybe make you cry. But there's also going to be some parts that make you laugh. I do try to find as much humor in everything that I direct, no matter how serious it might be. So there's going to be some parts where, yes, it's going to be funny, but it doesn't undercut the seriousness of the show overall. So yeah, there's a couple of parts that I do really enjoy, and I don't want to give them all away, but Mark Reeves is doing a great job playing Bo, and there's so many things that he does that are very, very small but very funny. And there's a lot of a lot of other things that are happening in the grand world that we have built here, um, that are just funny to me because I've been here through the entire process. And when I come back and see it in a week, it's probably going to be a tiny bit different, which is great because shows are a living, breathing thing, and people adjust accordingly. So when I come back and see it, I'm going to see it like, oh, that was great. We should have been doing that from the beginning. Good job.
One last question for
Yep.
you. Why should the audience come and see this show?
I think we touched on this earlier. I mean, we know these people. We know these, especially if you grew up in the South and have any Southern connections. These characters are going to be very familiar, and I think art is supposed to challenge you, and this is one of those shows that is going to challenge our audience to look at themselves in a different way, look at the world they live in a different way. And when you get those types of things that can be on stage, especially in smaller markets and smaller theaters and communities, it's very important because then you have people that are starting to have these conversations that we need to have in order to be better.
Once again, Guillermo, thank you so much for sitting down with us
Of course.
today.
Thanks for having me.
And audiences, for you, appropriate runs all the way until February 22nd here. Tickets available at hendersonvilletheater.org. We hope to see you here.